guys, Anson here, back with another video. So it's been a while since I did my last video. I'm sorry about that. There's a lot of news that came out. It just recently came out, the Apple event, and I'm gonna do a separate video about that, my opinion on it. But this video is all about the original Pixel XL and also the Android P. So let's get into it. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is the first Pixel phone they made, and this is the XL version, 5.5 inches, single camera, USB Type-C, and it has a headphone jack still. So I'm not gonna go too much detail on this device because it is pretty damn old, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the thousands video about this review. So I'm sure most of you guys just want to know how well does this perform with the Android P. So let me start with the things I don't like about this. It could be the phone and also the software. So there is a bit of lag when switching between apps. It's like right now I'm trying to show you and there's not a lot of lag, but I do experience that when I update to the Android P. Maybe it's the software optimization, but sometime when I swipe like this, there's a hiccup a little bit, but I don't see as much when you reset the device. But if you don't reset the device for a week or something, it does show. And sometime when you just do a quick search on any, the keyboard does come out laggy a little bit. That could be due to the keyboard, but this is the stock Google Android, so I'm not gonna, if I use a third party then maybe it's not optimized, but this is their own Google software. So let me see if I can try to get it. Nope, not right now. But anyways, it does comes up once in a while. Second thing I kind of like but don't like, but is, if you can see up here, you see these extra icons, all these spaces and all these circular. It does remind me of if anyone saw my review on the Xiaomi UI. They're really similar, at least to like really rounded edges, a lot of wasted space. I feel like they could have maybe make it a little more usable, but I guess it looks better. And the battery is a little bit better, but it's not much better. But that's also because due to probably because it's also new. But second thing is they have a new thing called, you can tell, adaptive battery. So the longer you use this phone, the more it, I guess, using AI machine learning to recognize what app you use the most, and it turns them off or whatever they do. But it does work. It actually makes the phone a little bit more better, at least from my experience using the 8.1 and I update to 9.1. So yeah, and this is a small thing, but for anyone that used the older Android, when you swipe down, there's like a toggle for you to click the setting. Now it's gone. You have to do a second swipe to able to get this. I don't like that because sometimes I don't really go push the setting around here. Some people put setting icons here, but I usually just pull down and click that. Now to do it twice, so maybe they could add it back later, but for now that's it. Okay, also, and the new feature is this menu, the new sliding gesture. But I use the 5T and the gesture is smoother. I think it's more functional than this. Let me show you. So if you go to an app, at the home screen it doesn't have a back button. That's because you can't go back. But if you go to any web application, you see there's a little back button. You can go back. So when you swipe this way and hold and let go, what happens is you instantly go back to the last app you use. So right there, go right back. But you can see there's a little hiccup when you change using that feature, like I mentioned before. And you can also swipe from anywhere to bring up the multitask screen. And I don't really like that because it's a little bit kind of laggy or just stutter. So if you want to bring all your app tray out, you just do this all the way up. But if you just do like this, it's I feel like the animation is missing. I feel like it's too fast, and that's what makes it feel like it's not that smooth. But I think it's a small annoyance, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll update that in the future. And one thing that if you ever use 3T or other devices with screenshot features, I like how Android P, if you hold on to this, there is a screenshot button. But one thing that I miss is no scrolling screenshot, which I kind of like. If you have a web page or website you want to show to someone, you can't do that with this device. So I hope they implement that in the future. Also, this is a small annoyance, but I don't like how the Google search bar is on the bottom, because as you can tell, the original Pixel doesn't have that long stretch the screen. So it makes sense on the newer device with the 18:9 ratio, but with this ratio, I don't think they should have done that, but I know they try to keep it unified. You might like it, you might not, but I wish they have an option at least for me to disable this. But that's a small annoyance. You can also just download any third-party launcher that will fix that as well, so it's not a big deal, but it's just letting you guys know. And also, you guys probably wonder, how do you do the split screen multitasking on this button? So let me show you guys. So go to here. So now you have to swipe up. See that bit of lag there? That's what I'm talking about. It happens throughout the UI. I just think it's a little older device, but it's still pretty good. And to swipe up, you get rid of the app, so that's not what you want to do. So what happens is you have to reach up there, grab onto that, and then split screen. Then you bring up that, then you can select your own. There you go. That's how multitasking. So it's a little bit extra step now. If you guys don't like that, you can still go to the back and change that and hold onto that button, and you will get that old multitasking. But I kind of like this. Even though it does take an extra step, I wish they can somehow maybe add on to the future, maybe a toggle up here so I don't have to reach and do that stuff, but maybe in later on. Okay, if you guys been reading the news, the Android P does have a little bit of glitches or buggy. So this phone, I know they have a new feature called Adaptive Night Light. I think that's what it is. Let me see. Right here, adaptive brightness. So it just learn where you turn on the slider, the room you remember, the light condition. So it learns, but sometimes the problem is it turns on the night light for no reason. So that could be my device or it's a bug. Let me know down below if you guys have that problem as well. And also, there's also one more bug that's annoying, is the fingerprint scanner. It happens every often or so. So what happens is, if you unlock the phone using fingerprint, it doesn't unlock instantly. It's a bit slower, and sometimes it takes 5 to 10 seconds. That's insane. And I have to reset this device and remove the fingerprint scan, remove all my fingerprint, and redo it. And it fixed that for maybe a day or two, and then it does it again. So I hope Google really fixed that, because I can't really live with that. I always use the fingerprint scanner. So yeah. Okay, so now I want to say the good thing I really enjoy about the new Android P. So there's a couple new things. First, I already showed you the gesture based home button. The second thing is, you can tell when I swipe up, there is a suggestion right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I thought this is almost like a quick, like always the same icons here, but it's not. So it learns as you go. So if I'm in Instagram and I pull that up, and I pulled it up, see, these are different apps. So that's how they try to predict which app you want to pick. So I kind of like that. So more you use it, it does get more accurate as time goes by. That's another cool feature. So another thing is, also you saw when you pull up a little bit more, you see these little, I guess, quick toggles. So it also learns the way you use these. So I think I'm gonna use Snapchat Discover and View Calendar. Sometimes it pops up Spotify playlist, alarm clock. So it try to predict as much as it can, but I find that to be pretty useless. I kind of like just the app that it predicts, but it's there anyway, so you can turn that off. But I mean, just leave it on. It get better. I know the first 2 days it's kind of hit or miss, but as you use it longer, it does get better. So yeah. Another thing you see, I didn't talk about was, normally if you hold like this and let go, it go back to the recent app. But if you look carefully, if I hold it, if I hold it this way, it stays in this screen. So if you keep moving like this, it will toggle all of them. So you can easily switch through all these apps really quick once you get used to it. So I suggest you guys actually try this, even though it might be annoying because you keep tapping this one to go multitask instead of swiping up. I think once you get used to it, you can't go back, because the switching between this and go back is just one swipe, or a little bit harder, or you hold it a little bit longer. I think that's a genius move anyways. So I still like Apple's approach, where this thing is completely like almost see-through at the bottom, so you can just swipe side to side to change your app. But I guess Android had to try a different gesture. You either hate it or you like it, but I kind of dig it, so that's what it is. Also a small feature, but I think that's pretty useful. You guys ever use iOS where when you select a paragraph, it kind of has like a magnifying glass so you can see what kind of word you're highlighting? Android haven't added that, now it finally is. So if you take a look, if I hold it, you see how it kind of magnify what I'm seeing? So it almost like a zoom in version, so you know exactly which letter to get inside, to edit. So I think this is a really neat feature, and I don't think anyone's talking about this feature. I guess they didn't use it long enough. So, and also, if you guys wondering, the second feature I love the most is this at the bottom. So normally when you go to the bed and just twitch it sideways, you have to go here and enable that, but now you don't need to. So you look at right here, you see this thing? So if you push the button, sorry, let me change the background because that's pretty bright. So you see it, turn around, but this doesn't support it. Okay, this one doesn't either. So YouTube, if you look at it, so you click on it, it flips, but it holds this position. See, when you turn back, and then it pops another one. Then you go here, and then it switches. I think this is so useful because when you're laying on the bed, it's kind of annoying. You keep flipping back and forth, and when you want it to, it doesn't do it. So this is a really good feature. It's such a small thing, but I kind of miss this if I go to iOS or other Android device that doesn't have this update feature. So that's a good thumbs up for Google. And also one of the things I like is they finally added dark mode. Also dark mode just came up for YouTube, so finally took them forever. You can see these toggles are black and the bottom sometimes black, but the difference is this is more like a half experiment black mode, because some of these menus are still white. So I don't really like that. I hope they optimize later on to have all the black theme. Let me see here. Yeah, so I really hope they do add that in the later future, but it's a good step up that at least they bring a little bit to it, so we have more choices, because I feel like Google needs a little bit more customization in their stock Pixel launcher. Yeah. And also one thing I really hate about Android P, I forgot that when I forgot to add that in on my dislike. So what happens is before, actually I like this on the Android P, but I hate it on the older Android device. So what happens, you guys remember back then when you turn on this battery saving mode, the whole navigation bar turns red, or the whole top turns red. That is the dumbest feature I ever had in an Android device, because on iOS you just turn it on, the battery icon turns yellow. It doesn't really, you won't even know you're in battery saving mode till you look at the battery color. But the Android, you immediately notice because it's just red. It's in front of your face. You can't really not see it. So the new Android P, you click it. What changed? You can see the battery turns red, and it has right here. That's it. And I actually use this more than before, because now I don't need to get bombarded by the red bright color when I'm just using the phone and try to save my battery. So that's a pretty good damn feature, and then I welcome that. And I wish they improve that even better later on, but that's good enough for me. And I already mentioned it before that that screenshot, you can do it from the power button. That's really good. And also you can see if you turn the volume up and down, you can see there's a menus down here now. And if you guys remember, they kind of remove the toggle for silence, vibrate, and ringtone before. Now they add it back, but they still won't add it up here. It still have the do not disturb, which is kind of annoying. I wish they add that back up here, but you can still enable the toggle from here. So to finally add that back, and also you can change the volume button from here and all the music settings from here. So it's a little better. And you have music, when you have music playing, it does have two toggles. I'll show you. Let me see. And also one feature is on the lock screen. Now it finally shows the weather. It mimics the home widget right here. So I kind of like that, because before it just shows the time and alarm. Now it shows the weather right there, simple, easy, and I can see my weather every morning. So I love that. And also one other feature that I like is that when you have a battery or you have an app that's using high background usage, it shows you right here. And also if you notice now, the when you're in the battery setting mode, it actually shows you how much percent you have and how long this percent will last you, and it gives you exact time. So it says based on your usage should last until 10:45 a.m. which is next day, based on your usage. So that's pretty, and it's pretty accurate actually, and I kind of like that. I wish more manufacturers start doing that, because I want to know how long this certain percentage I have lasts me, because that's more useful, giving me a time than telling me how long my phone been on for, because I want to know how long it lasts me, not. And I think that's a pretty good useful information. It's simple, it's simple, but it's useful for most users like us. And the final thing I want to say that I like is the double tap to wake. Okay, not sure, it's not working right now, but right there, when it works, but I'm not sure that feature was on the older Android, but I'm not sure that feature has been brought up in other older Android software, but I mean the newest one does, and also have tilt to wake to see your display. But oh, sorry about that, I turned on battery mode so it doesn't have that. So lift, you can see that, and double tap, perfect. So that's how it works. And that's it, guys. Thanks for waiting for this video. I know it's been a while. I had to send this back to Google, and Google had to send me this back, and I'm still a bit sick, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And my next video will be coming really soon. I'm just gonna talk about my opinions on the Apple device that came out. And spoiler alert, I think the XR is the most interesting iPhone that came out, and I'm in Canada, and the iPhone XS Max is $2,000 before tax. That's kind of ridiculous. That's the 512 gigabyte version, but anyways, if you liked the video, please like or give me a thumbs up down below, and you have any questions, please leave a link down below. Leave a comment down below, and I see you guys next time. Peace.